Again, we are. I believe we are go
for round two.
Round two. We are a go. So
All right, here we go.
yeah. So first off, we if you can tell the layout is different. The layout has changed. I did a lot of little changes to it. So I don't know if this. Oh, is this?
We're good.
Are we good? Okay. It's been having. I don't know. It's been really weird when I start like hovering over the website.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're good. But yeah, so
There we go.
I got our little Discord icons going. They're a little bit more legible, and then
Beautiful.
I put some gameplay of our highlights on the bottom left. This would
Oh,
be a
yes.
test also because I'm curious how both the small and the big screen look if I'm doing like 3DS or DS games. This is kind of my initial test in terms of the layout, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I
So there's
like it.
that. Yeah, it's not too
I like
bad.
it. I mean, do I like being in the death counter? Maybe.
Well, now the death counter's on the
Um,
bottom. Now that's all the way
but the
over
death counter is
below.
always top left. The death counter is always top left.
I don't know. Something's changed, Jason. So yeah, tier list. How you want to go about this? Do we just go out just alphabetically how they
Adam, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Are you Can you not hear me?
I can see you lighten up, but I cannot hear you.
Really? My mic is going. Shoot. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Why tonight is being so weird? Hold on.
There we go.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think my cable came a little bit loose. I'm good now.
Oh no, you're good. I was like, man, I was having a little bit of technical difficulties before, so I didn't know if that was
That's all right. It
still me.
happens. This is this is why we do it. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, buddy. But I don't know where I was. Where was I before you couldn't hear me?
I don't like being in the death counter top left, and then you started to explain what was going to happen, and I don't think I got any of it.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. So death counter is now at the bottom. We're gonna move that down there. Whenever we do a run, it'll be. We're not in the death counter anymore. It's been moved.
Oh, thank
So
goodness.
we're good. And then yeah, I was just gonna ask you, do you want to just go alphabetically how their images are? Because I believe
Yeah,
that's how
sure.
they are.
Do it.
So all right. Well, Amelia. I don't know where you want to put her, but
List. Okay. Here's the thing. I feel for like the first 12 levels or so, she did fine.
yeah. No, I mean her as a trainee unit, she was okay. She was pretty good actually.
Honestly, but like she really fell off hard. I would put her, I don't want to I don't want to roast her too hard. I would put, honestly, for me, I'd put her at a B. Right in the
See,
middle. Like,
that's where I think that's where I was thinking too, because like again, she was not terrible in the beginning, but
mm,
her fall off was a pretty steep slope. I mean,
yeah.
it wasn't very gradual, but
She was the most mid character, in my opinion. So mid. Like this is like she was
now
the epitome of mid.
actually, I wonder, do you have your Amelia? Do you know?
Oh,
Because I'm wondering, or
let me boot it
roughly
up.
what they, because that might be a good thing. Also, like I'm curious what yours
Boot it
were.
up. I'll boot it up.
Let me get mine going real quick,
Yes.
and then
Compare.
that
I think
way.
my Amelia will fuck up your Amelia. If I'm being honest with you.
Oh yeah, more than likely.
You got shafted with your some of your growths. I am booting up right now.
All right, so we'll just leave this. I don't know where I'm putting this, but it's not in the stream. Okay, that's fine. Oh crap.
I do enjoy watching the Fire Emblem stuff from the bottom left. That's a nice touch. I really like that.
Yeah, I was like, it just seems so weird and so empty, and I was like, I don't want to make the chat box like that huge. It just seems
I get
so
that,
like,
yeah.
overkill. And then I'm thinking, well, all right, let me like test out how I would more than likely do a DS like stream, in terms of like one big image, one tiny one on the touchscreen. I'm like, what am I gonna put there? Oh, let's put our content there because that's it's fun to see look back. Like the one playing now is Project Ember, so
Yeah.
it's just kind of cool to see that.
All right. I have my Amelia up.
And I have mine up as well.
So I got her to a level 8 Great Knight.
Oh, you know what? I'm dumb. She's dead. I don't have her off the top of my head.
Whoopsie.
But no, mine. I do remember she had like a ton of defense. She had 12 defense. It was a ton.
You want to know how much defense mine has?
Is it
We're
more
gonna
than
get there.
12?
We'll get there. We'll get there. She had, so I got her to level 8 Great Knight. She had 39 HP,
Yeah.
17 strength,
God.
17 skill, 21 speed.
So yours was just as fast as mine, but mine
Yep.
had minus. Dude, I think mine was like 11 strength, from what I
Yep.
remember.
She had 19 luck, and she had 17 defense.
Oh God, yeah, mine
She had
was bad.
17 defense.
Mine had 12. Mine had 12, or no, maybe 13. I think she got one more at the end.
I was gonna say I think she got 13 at the very bitter end, but I had +4 defense on you.
And I had 21 luck. She was lucky,
I
but
had 19.
other than
But,
that,
and weirdly, my Amelia had 8 res.
I feel like that's pretty good. I feel like, especially, yeah, no, that is. I feel like that is pretty good.
I also feel like that's pretty good. And I was like, I saw that, and this makes you go, huh, okay.
Like, So, yeah, no, that's
Yeah, Amelia, super mid, super middle.
for me mid. For you, yours would probably be put what? Probably A tier at least.
I brought her all the way up. I brought her into the last chapter, and honestly, for me, anyone that I bring into the last chapter would probably minimum be A tier. for
Yeah,
me.
which makes sense because you got your like your premium squad. So,
Yeah, the core 12 basically.
yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, B for
Yeah,
B for mine, A for yours for sure.
Which makes sense. Like yours was pretty decent up until mid through her first promotion, and then tanked off real not great. So exactly, I'm happy with this.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot. All right, Arthur. I mean,
Okay. he, I think we'll. Here's what we'll need to do.
yeah.
Because Arter, did he? This is an important question. Did he do any work post like the Arter experience?
Post the Ardor experience, I think he helped with the chapter he came in, which was I think the
Okay.
4th chapter, and then I think after that, that was it. I don't think he was used at all after that. He might have had
I-
one or two battles and maybe a deployment here and there, but it definitely wasn't like consistent. So
Did he get to use the hammer in the second
He-
in the final chapter?
he did, and I forgot about that, which was
So
kind of
I would
vital.
take I would take Arter A tier. A tier.
Ooh, A tier though. You think that
See,
but see,
I
are
think-
you weighting the hammer and staff that much? I guess.
I am weighting his came into the final level,
Unpromoted.
unpromoted,
Yeah.
level 5, and in one level was able to get all the way up to, what is that, a B rank in
Almost
order to
B,
use the staff?
almost. So it was he promoted and had C rank staff. He could
Yeah.
already then use the hammer, and then he almost got to B rank, which almost would have been nice for the physics staff. But
Well then, okay, so if he had got okay, if he had gotten to B tier, like for the stabs, I would have put him in A, but actually put him next to Amelia at B for the redemption arc, in my opinion.
and I think like I'm trying to think, so, I'm trying to think if I put him a little bit below Amelia, just because Amelia did have more screen time and more time like to try to like be
Oh
good.
yeah.
But
If
I do
if
think you're
he
right
didn't
though.
if he didn't have the redemption arc, he'd be like in the C, between B and C area. He'd be down there.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, because again, that he wouldn't have been used at all, but he had such a crazy arc.
Yeah, the redemption was nuts.
It was such a fun. I also had a lot
That
of
was so
fun
cool.
like doing that and then making the thumbnail for the video. That was fun.
Yeah, that was so much fun. I agree.
So, I think fits him in that.
I would agree. That's fair.
Then we got Colm. Colm is an odd one. I didn't hardly use him at all for combat, and
Okay.
he was just for a few chests basically, or like some stealables.
Was
Now,
he was he instrumental in literally anything that you remember?
no. And I think for me personally, so like for me when I look at the tiers, I go D tier is like I didn't use them at all,
Hmm.
or if I did get them, they maybe gave some items in their inventory.
Yeah.
But like Colm, I would say is probably a bit above that because at least he, you know, picked some locks for some chests and some items.
Because if I
But
recall, in chapter 19, he almost died a few times, or was that my Colm?
so that might have been your Colm, but
That was
my
my Colm.
Colm actually also, and what I think maybe he deserves C tier, is he saved Marissa from death.
Yeah. I was
So
gonna put him at C tier also, not because I think he's bad, but
no,
because he just wasn't horrendously impactful, you know?
he was kind of, yeah, he had a moment of, hey, let me protect a unit that I need alive, and then
Hmm.
I got some chests for you, some items. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I think you're right. Like, and then that's kind of my thought too. Is like, yeah,
Hmm.
C rank sounds like it makes sense.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Like, detrimental, no. Impactful, also kind of no. Except for like, he saved
Like,
Mercer the one time. It
yeah,
was
a
pretty
little bit.
clutch, but like,
Yeah, like a little bit
yeah,
impactful, but not like enough where I feel like
yeah.
he deserves to be in the B tier.
Hmm.
All right, we got
Now,
yeah,
I'm a little biased here. I'm a little biased here. I will be honest though. I'm trying to look past my bias. Your core mag was not as impactful as my core mag, but that's only because I use mine very differently than you do.
See, and I also think to that point, I think your core mag is to my Tana, and then vice versa. I think because also
Yeah.
you had said your Tana wasn't a huge, like, as good as mine, but I think your
No,
core
I
mag was
Vanessa was
really
better.
good. So,
Yeah, my core mag capped strength at level 10,
yeah,
24 skill, 20 speed.
that's really good.
Um, he capped HP at 60. Um, he had, 12 luck. He has something like an ability. It might be the Vidofner. He has 19 defense usually, but it's given him +5. So I bet you it's because he has that on.
Yeah, that
But like his
more than
base is
likely, yeah.
19 defense, which is pretty good.
Yeah, and I mean overall, yeah, he's a solid unit. Like in my previous playthroughs, I would always probably put him A S tier because he usually is in my like final 12, my final
Well,
squad.
I had him in 196 battles,
Yeah,
like
that's a lot.
individual like skirmishes. So, but for you, like he was still there the whole time, and did he not go to chapter 20 with you?
He went to the end, but I mean that was also because of how many people had died. I think, you know, I think he would have been a little
In
bit. It would have been iffy if he had gone to the end or not.
Yeah, in my opinion, he's a soft A, high B, low A. Personally,
Yeah,
I would put mine in S, yours in A.
yeah, because I think again, like he was able to take a hit, he was able to dish out a hit, maybe not kill as effectively as like a Tana or a Seth, but
Yeah.
definitely do way more than what like at this point. Like we have Amelia, we have Archer there. Like I think
I
that's
mean,
not a
we can have a
bad.
stacked B tier. We can have a stacked B tier, but in
We
my
can
opinion,
we can maybe keep him
he's an
in
A.
A for right now since there's only 4 people, but then maybe as we
Mhm.
start to fill in the other tiers, it's like, well, maybe looking at these other characters, Cormac doesn't quite fit that. So
Yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an option open for him.
yeah, I think for right now he can sit pretty in that A tier, and then we can go
Like we
move
said,
from there.
soft A,
Yeah,
soft A.
he got like an 89.9 on his test, and they rounded
100%.
it
Yeah, we're
up.
rounding up. We're rounding up.
So another weird one. I guess we can also do these two together because they kind of are in the same boat. You know,
It didn't use either of them, so they
Daz,
have to go in D
Dazla,
tier.
and Dusel. You know, the one thing they did do well, and I know this is weird, is they came with really good items. Dazla had an
Okay.
elixir and a battle axe. Can't really. I had the battle axe on Amelia at the end, and who knows if that elixir helped, right? Dusel had
hmm
some silver weapons, so there's also that. I mean, again, no combat, but I think for me, you want to also look at their inventory because you might
hmm
not use a character, but I mean, you sure as shit take their shit. You're like,
Yep.
ooh,
Come with something real good,
you
you
know.
know?
So, and I think that's maybe part of it. But yeah, we didn't use them, so I don't think we really need to elaborate on them anymore. I mean, Dazla and
Fair.
Dusel both have great facial hair, but
They do. They
you
both got
know,
great mustaches.
but not the best.
The best is yet to come.
God, Erica, I mean,
Your Erica,
mine.
if you do not put your Erica specifically in S tier, this tier system is broken.
So she should just be right there.
It's D
No,
tier, yeah.
no, she was. So I mean, look, I've played this game at least a dozen times, probably more. I have never had an Erica get multiple strength level ups as fast as she did. Also, she got one full level up, so all of her stats went. And then I think there were two other level ups where all but one stat leveled up. And then several other really good level ups on top of that. So I mean, just for that reason alone, I feel like she should be pretty high up in there.
Oh yeah. Your Erica was absolutely busted in so many of the stats. So I was impressed. So I think putting her in S tier is pretty much the only justifiable tier.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think S is gotta be the only tier for her. Yeah, I mean, again, great level up. She was able to like, I mean, she kind of ended up being like Ephraim, but like a little bit better, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like,
hmm Especially your version of Ephraim.
yeah. Let me real quick. Sorry, my like screen is being weird again. There we go. And then yeah, Ephraim. I mean, I don't know. For me, oh, where did my Discord go? Shoot. What's going on?
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, what the heck is going on? Oh wait, give me a second. I gotta fix this.
No problem.
Okay, I think we're good. Yep, there we go. That was
Excellent.
weird. Where was I?
As you were saying.
Ephraim. I think I don't know, I'm thinking A tier initially just because again, like for viability, like we didn't have him very long. So, we used him pretty much at the end of the game, and that was it.
Yeah, I think we got him in level 16, and like you had him a little bit before, got him, but he was good. He could take a hit. He wasn't detrimental, and decently impactful, but not like the best. So yeah, I'd put him at an A. I'd put him at an A.
Yeah, I think A is solid for him. And then I mean, did you have a pretty good Ephraim? Because I know you went his route, right?
My Ephraim was pretty good.
Yeah.
He had 23 strength and also capped skill and speed with 26 skill and 24 speed.
Yeah.
19 luck, 19 defense, 13 res.
Yeah, and I think mine. So you say all those stats. I'm gonna take a quick look at mine. Like, I think it was very similar. 23 strength, 26 skill, speed capped, 24. I only have 14 luck.
I had 19 luck. What defense were you?
18.
Yeah, 19. What about? I'm curious about resistance. That was the one I was most curious about.
10.
I had 13 res
Wow.
for this guy.
So yours was definitely better. Actually, what level was yours again?
Mine was a level 11.
Yeah, mine was level 10, so pretty similar to be honest. So and I know yours was like 50 health. Mine had like 45.
51 HP.
Yeah, so mine actually was worse than yours, but I still felt like mine did really well. I guess you have those core 3 stats, the strength, the skill, the speed, you're going to be good. Like
100%.
Yeah. You used Ewan, right? I'm pretty sure.
My Ewan was so good. All right.
Let's hear it.
My Ewan is an S tier. I think honestly, unfortunately for you, you might have to put yours at a B tier. He just you weren't
Yeah.
able to use him a whole bunch, and he therefore wasn't able to be super impactful.
No, and I agree with you. Like mine, ended up initially was good. Like, I mean, before promoting to a summoner, he was like 16 magic. But like you said, I had to bench him a couple times in chapters that I think I could have gotten a lot of experience, like chapter 18, chapter 19.
Yeah.
And so like by the time chapter 20 rolled around, he was already kind of behind. But yours was really good. So I think you're right. Like B tier for me is
I need to walk you through my Ewan.
yeah, please do.
38 health.
Goddamn.
Which already, 38. 23 magic.
Good lord.
20 skill, 22 speed, 22 luck, 8 defense, and 22 res.
What level is he?
12 summoner.
He is literally better in every facet. Although you went to 20, right? Did you go 20 when you promoted?
I got my Ewan from all the way to 20 before I promoted him to summoner.
Yeah,
that's probably why.
So that also is part of it too, I'm guessing. But also, geez, that is insanely good.
He never got hit with anything, and he always hit like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, damn, like those stats are insane.
He hit hard. He hit really hard.
Yeah. Whereas mine wasn't bad, but I did use him more for the summoning the little phantom guy and maybe like luring some enemies in that way. He could get a couple kills, but yeah, yours was that's really good.
You know, in chapter 19, when there was that one place to like plug the hole.
Yeah,
You know what's crazy? Ewan plugged the hole.
that is wild.
Like you would not use a magic user to plug a hole like that, like to be like a damage sponge. But he didn't get hit ever. He went like, I don't know, a solid 8 or 9 turns before he even got hit once.
Yeah. Well, I mean, given his luck stat being that good, that kind of helps too. Like,
Busted, absolutely busted. 22 luck. You know, just what an incredible. I kind of want to look at his growth stats just to see if, like, you know,
how much of
he's
an
actually
anomaly
pretty.
that is. I think he is relatively lucky. Like, I think
Yeah.
normally he is, and I think like typically you would make him like a sage, and where I think like those classes have good luck, but like I know for the most part, like dark mages, druids, all that sort of stuff, like they don't have as good luck. So to
Mhm.
have him probably have a good luck growth rate, and then be a druid, kind of like is pretty, or like a dark mage is honestly really good.
Let's see. I got him to level 12.
Level
He
12,
was
not bad.
average for HP, +1 magic, +2 skill, average speed.
Wow, average
Actually,
speed.
funny, -2 luck,
Oh wow. So yeah, he
+1
so
defense.
very lucky then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
+1 defense, and weirdly, -1 res.
So he was sort of, well, I wouldn't say average, but definitely no stat went like
No,
crazy, but also like
if
he didn't really have any bad stats either.
if
So
this is the average Ewan, this is a broken unit.
yeah. Well, I mean, again, trainee units, right? They're all typically really, really good.
Incredible. Oh, I can't wait until we get to Ross.
No,
I
I
can't
was
wait
gonna
until we get to
say, I
Ross.
know you're not gonna like where I want to put them, but you
Well,
know,
you have to.
yeah,
I know. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
we're jumping the gun a little bit. I guess we could also do these two together. I mean, I don't think we really used them at all.
I was gonna
Uh,
say, I don't know if I even recognize the sprites very much.
so we got Franz and then Ford. So Franz we did
Is that really
use,
Franz?
yeah. Well, the one on the,
Oh, it is.
yeah,
Oh, the one on the right.
the
Yeah.
one on the
Okay. Yeah,
right.
I didn't use Ford.
Ford, yeah. I mean, I didn't use them. I think also like, you know,
Can I say my Franz went with me into chapter 20? My honestly, I liked using Franz. This is gonna be very blasphemous of me to say. He was like a better version of Seth for me.
see, and the thing is, yes, he can be, but I will say to counter that real quick is like Seth is his. If you look at both Seth and Franz's growth rates, Seth's growth rates are actually better than Franz's. So
I believe it.
sometimes even if you get Franz to 20 and then to like 2020 basically,
Hmm.
and then just get Seth to 20, there are instances where Franz is still worse than Seth stat wise.
Oh,
Again,
I
like,
believe that.
but it's kind of crazy though. Like Franz gets a promotion plus 39 levels essentially,
Hmm.
and then he's still not quite there versus Seth only gets 19 level ups. I don't know. That's
The
pretty.
reason the reason I used Franzi is because, you know, my Franz is a level 7 paladin, and my Seth is Franz level 7 paladin, Seth level 9 paladin. Like I used both.
Oh yeah.
However, Franz had 8 more HP than Seth,
Oh wow.
and all of Seth's stats are better than Franz, except for my Franz had 1 more strength.
Which is kind of
So
crazy
like,
because I think Franz technically has a worse strength growth, but
yeah, Seth was also came with me into the final chapter. Like
yeah,
the problem being, I think he really lacked HP. Like
Seth.
we'll get to him.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
get to him, but like he lacked. But yeah, for me, My Franz was a A B tier character, but you didn't even use him, right? So he has to
Yeah,
go in.
I think I used him a tad bit more than Ford. Like I think like
Yeah.
maybe a chapter or two, or maybe I used him in the same capacity, but especially those early chapters where you have to auto deploy. Again,
Hmm.
both of them. I mean, Ford, I guess maybe I might put him above Franz for the fact that he comes with a killer lance and killer weapons
Early
are really
game.
good for early game. So, if anything, he gave us a good item.
I respect that. No, I respect that.
But yeah, I feel comfortable with those two there, and kind of why I
C
talked to them
tier for
together.
us is going to be like reserved for either a detrimental kind of unit. They were there, but like didn't really do much and they died really annoyingly, or they came, you didn't use them, but they had a good item.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That this tier might be kind of full,
Yeah.
but Garcia, Daddy Garcia.
Eh.
You know what? Real quick, he would have been. I don't
My
know.
Garcia is pretty good.
I don't know what number he was on the popularity poll, but he was definitely up there. He probably would have been an end game unit if I wasn't
He
dumb.
came with me. He
Came
came with
with
me.
you. Yeah, yours was probably really good. You know,
I
go ahead.
good.
I was gonna say for me, I always get both Garcia and Ross, and I go, I like Ross better because again, you get the extra level ups, you get a different class,
Yeah.
from it. But the times I have used Garcia, minus this playthrough, he's not a
Mhm.
bad unit. Um, I
No, not
would
at all.
put him probably, normally probably A tier, maybe like
Mhm.
high B, low A, just because of where everyone else falls. But I don't
For
know for
me
you though.
and my for me and my run through, I only got him to a level 6 after being a hero. He had 48 HP, which as you know, HP is very important to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the
Um
best stat. It's the most
the
important
the
stat, some would
crazy
say.
the crazy part about him is he was +3 strength.
That's
And
pretty good.
this is crazy. He was +5 skill.
Well, so I know you said you promoted him as a hero, so I wonder. Well, no, I mean, I don't think it matters if you which class you
No,
promote
I'm
him to.
looking in his hero stat. He was so
Wow,
he had
for skill.
he had +3 strength, +5 skill, +2 speed,
Wow.
-1 luck, +2 defense, +3 defense, and +2 res. He
So he
was
was literally great.
an
That was the
absolutely busted
best.
unit for me.
That was the best Garcia version of Garcia you could probably get.
Yeah, and like the problem that I was like maybe kind of sad was I just like looking at that, I had a plus whatever for every single +1, +4, +5 skill.
Yeah,
And like he still I would put him into a battle and I'd be like,
like he just
he's gonna
wasn't
take this hit, but
quite
like
getting it. Yeah, he wasn't quite cutting
I
it
didn't it was more of a I just didn't have the confidence in him
to perform.
to like clean up. I knew he wasn't gonna die, but I was like, are you gonna get like am I gonna I always felt like I had to keep an eye on him. So for me, I would have put him in for my run through an A. Unfortunately for you, you gotta put him at like a C or a D.
I think so, and again, like my thought process, right? So we got him in chapter 2. I think he died
Yeah.
in chapter like 9. So that's
Yeah.
a very huge chunk of the early. It's pretty much the whole
That's
early
true.
game. So part of me kind of wants to put him, and I know this might be kind of crazy, but like low B tier, just because you got to think like,
Really?
well, think about it, right? Like I used him pretty much every chapter. I mean, I
Like
think
7 chapters.
7 chapters out of technically what? There's 21 if you include if you
Yeah.
include like the final chapter, right? So like technically that's a third of the
So
game,
you use him for a third of the game. I think you can
you
put him
know.
in B tier.
I
I
think I
really do.
think because if we're putting Arthur right like in B tier, I mean obviously his arc was so unique,
So
but
profound, yeah.
I think Garcia could go B tier, like low B tier.
Now, honestly, for
Um,
a one third, I think Garcia got an 83% on his test. Like technically low B, but like high low B. You know?
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I think that is fine, honestly. And then yeah, I don't know if you use Garrick, but mine was pretty dang good. I'm honestly super pleased with mine.
I did not use Garrick mostly because I had Joshua,
Yeah, so you already
and I
have that
also
sword unit.
and
Yeah.
I also yeah, and I also had Garcia as a hero,
Oh, that's right. You did make Garcia heroes. Yeah, it would have been redundant
and I
to
was using
have Garrick.
and I was using Franz, and I was using Seth. Like I had enough
You
sword
yeah,
users,
you
and I had
basically had
Erica.
enough of every other weapon, all the weapon types that he would have provided anyway. I guess the only
Yeah,
thing you could have done was taken him and then promoted him to ranger, which is a sword
yeah,
and bow unit. But at that
yeah. That
point,
would have been good.
though, it's like any. I mean, he would be on horseback, so there is that. But like, I mean,
I did get him to a mercenary level 10. Like he wasn't a bad unit. I just didn't use him.
no, yeah. And I mean, for me with my run, right, like he came in ready to promote. I got him like 3, 4 levels, and I was like, dude, his stats were really good. Like I think he had like 14 or 15 strength, 16 skill, like 14 or 15 speed. Like he was, those 3 stats were really, really good.
Hmm.
And I think he ended out with, let me double check, pulling him up. But he had like a really good balance. Yeah, 21 strength, 22 skill, 21 speed. So like those 3 stats
Damn,
are really, really good. 48 health, which I feel like is really high for him.
that is really high. That's good because mine level 10 mercenary unpromoted. Like he has 32 HP.
Yeah, and so I don't think I gave him a HP item. Maybe I did,
Yeah,
but I don't think I would have picked
very
him.
good. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. What level did you promoted him, right?
Yeah, so he's level 8 hero.
Let's look.
And then yeah, I mean I'm gonna throw him in A tier at this point, but
Yeah.
like we can rearrange and I think
Well, this isn't like a popularity This is how
no
he
no
did
no.
for you.
And I think definitely better than you and Amelia, and I would even argue Cormag, right? I
Did you
felt
make him a
like
hero or a ranger?
hero,
You said level 6,
level 8,
level 8. So technically, how much HP did he have?
48.
That's minus 3 HP.
Good lord. Okay.
It,
Well, I thought that
it was
was
at
really good HP.
51.3.
Dang.
What was his skill and speed?
22 skill, 21 speed.
+1, +1. So yeah, there you go.
So yeah, I figured those were pretty good for his defense was 17. Was that pretty good? I felt like that was pretty bulky for a hero.
Defense of 17 at level 8.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's actually minus half. He's 17.9.
Okay, so he's about -1 ish, but yeah, not too bad. Yeah, I mean I'm good putting him in A. I mean he was fast, he was bulky, he was honestly the fact that he was still minus HP, but 48's a lot, so
Yeah, 48's plenty. Like that's
well, yeah,
plenty.
any more than that, it's kind of like, well, the cap is 60, so what you're 80% of the way there. I mean,
Hmm.
you're not gonna need much more than that. All right, so Gilliam, I think for me was also very similar to like Ewan, where I just couldn't
Hmm.
bring him, and like chapters
You
where
used him for you used him for a decent amount, like at least maybe like 5
he
chapters.
well, he was definitely a big early game unit, but then when I kept getting more people, I had to bench him, and so he
Mm.
wouldn't get levels, or I think he ended up being only like a level 1 promote, and I barely used him, kind of sporadically towards the end. So
Gilliam was my boy.
Oh, dude, your Gilliam
He
was
he was an
it.
S tier unit for me. I got him to a level 9 Great Knight, and he had +1 HP. He had, let's see, +1 skill, +2 luck, +2 speed, +4 defense,
What
and
was your?
+1 res.
How much defense does he have at level 9?
Level 9 Great Knight, 28 defense.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I guess mine ended up around level 5, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm only at 21 defense. Like that's insane.
That's -1 defense for you and +4 for me.
Yeah, so that's ridiculous. But yeah, I
But
mean he was really good for you. Like I remember you
for my
telling me
run, he
like
was for my run, he was one of he was the tank. You put him in the middle of the field, and you just take all his weapons off, and he just sponges those hits.
yeah.
But for you, I feel like for you, he was early game, but like he couldn't do a ton for you. He was like
Yeah.
he wasn't super impactful for your run. Like there was a couple of moments where he was like, "Oh yeah, just put Gilliam in there. He'll do well," and he did okay. So for me, he's like B C, maybe like
See,
C for
I
your run.
and I was even thinking C because like with Amelia, yeah, she like fell off, but like Gilliam would be like, "Oh, he's almost dying." Like how many times did we like
A bunch.
I mean, it was a good handful of times where you're like, "Oh crap, Gilliam might die." Like Gilliam might die. I think there were so many times he was like under half health. So,
He was you couldn't really trust him for your run to do it himself, and then unfortunately when you there was the possibility of getting him up and like promoting him and doing all that stuff, he at that point had to be benched. So
yeah. I do think he's yeah, probably going to be not D tier. Probably
I'd put him at C.
I'd probably put him C cuz he's similar to how like Garcia is. It's like, you know, he's not bad,
He's
but
a
he was just
he's a
kind of
soft
there.
C.
Yeah.
Soft C.
Yeah. Now, what's not soft C is Ennis. And I mean, just for the fact of him going out the way he did, but also he was very good.
Your Innis was really impactful.
Yeah. Having an archer and him being the only archer, I mean, I would even put him at this point. I'm thinking he would probably be above Ephraim in terms of like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, actually for sure, because I had Ennis a lot longer than Ephraim. And I think he
I,
was very, very impactful.
you know, A, S, somewhere in there. I
Yeah,
like it.
I mean, I
I
mean,
like it for Innis.
I could even see the argument for S rank too. I mean, he was able to dish out a lot of damage. I mean, he tanked that Draco zombie at the end of the game. Like there
Mhm.
were some moments where he was. We'll maybe we'll circle back to Ennis. We'll do like a brief like comb over of the
Yeah,
list when everything's done and see if maybe some units move around. But I think yeah,
I
definitely
agree.
high A for him. He was, and you didn't use him, correct? You
No,
skipped him.
I I skipped him completely.
Yeah, I mean he's a pre-promote. You kind of go, I have my own squad. At that point he
Well,
comes halfway through the game. So
I just don't really use archers as much as I did in Fire Emblem 7.
yeah, well the Archer game in this and Sacred Stone is so weird. You have Namie and then Ennis, and then you have other characters that can use bows like Garcia, Ross, Garrick, but like I think that's it. Like
Mhm.
there's not a ton of bow users, so it's yeah, kind of a weird class in FE8. God, Joshua. Oh, you
Your Joshua, this was an impactful player.
oh,
This
100%.
character for this run,
Had some lows where he's like, oh shit, Joshua might die. But most of the time, this Joshua was like, oh, we need to get someone out of trouble. Joshua. Like, he held his own for so much of the back half of this run. that I think he deserves to be an S tier character.
See, now I agree, but I wonder if he would be better than Erica. That's the next question. Because like you said, he was definitely a unit where I'm looking for him, going, okay, I need something done. Where's he at?
Mm-hmm.
Now I think I did that more with him than I did with Erica, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's also kind of contentious. Like, I think either it's too close to call or maybe he edges out. So
In my opinion, I think he held his own. I think he's an S tier character.
for sure S tier. I think there's no question about it. But I do wonder if he deserves to be number one overall at this point in the tier list. I'm kind of leaning toward yes. Excuse me.
For now, I would agree with you.
Yeah. So. All right. Mr. Master Seal himself. God. Oh, Lord. Noel.
Rank, like,
I mean,
straight
he's
up, put him in D. Like, he didn't even survive more than 3 turns.
and not only did he not give us any items, he actually took away items from us. So
Arguably,
I
he
kind
took
of
away the most valuable item.
is there a way? I wonder if there's a way I could add another line on this poll, and I've never messed with
I
it.
kind of want you to, and just instead of giving it S A B C D, and just name the row Null.
Yeah, I think that's exactly. We'll just do that. No. Oh wait, let's change the color to like.
Change it to like brown.
I don't got brown, but I got like gray, so we'll just gray it out.
Do a gray, yeah.
But yeah, I think genuinely, that's. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think it was wigging out a little bit. Yeah, I think because again, like he didn't benefit us at all, and if anything, it was just a detriment. And
like the reason he's so low, not because he only took.
He took away the best item.
Well, and that item in particular is worth like 10,000 gold versus a different class change item which can sell for 5,000. So essentially, like we lost 2 class change items because I could have bought another one with like, you know what I mean? So it's just like if you think about it like that, it's overall just not good. He's in his own null tier.
Not only did he take away an item, he took away one of the best items, like one of the most useful, one of the most beneficial items in the game. So that's why he's all by himself.
Yeah, he is by his lonesome. Yeah, I think that kind of covers it. Again, Kyle, I think he's in the same boat as
he's got to go
Ford.
D, unfortunately.
I think he's gonna be below Ford because he didn't even have any good items that I can think of. But maybe he might even be below Franz because at least like I used Franz a tad. I don't even think I touched Kyle at all. He was kind of forgettable. No. And then La Rochelle.
Hold.
This is gonna. I was gonna say we have to take a moment. This is kind of we can't just be like, oh yeah, this rank, and then be done with it. We got to explain a little bit.
Obviously, you want to put La Rachel in S tier because most people like she's a very popular character, and she's pretty darn good as a character. But I have a hot take. I told you people are going to tune in for a hot take.
I was gonna say. Let me hear your what was it? Your cold hot take, whatever.
My super cold hot take. I think she is at the front of A, not S, because she was a useful unit, but I don't think there was a single time where she truly saved your bacon. Like, I'm going to lose everybody, and because if you recall, in the chapter that shall not be named. She died.
Well, and
She died.
well, see now, I thought my ranking was going to be tame, but actually, I would even argue she was even less than that because. So I would even say like top of B tier, and only for the
Yeah, I
reason
can see that.
because like she was good enough, but either she didn't quite heal all like someone's HP entirely, or I couldn't quite get her to, you know, get enough levels fast enough, or I don't know. I just felt like there was a lot holding her back, and it wasn't until the very end where I like did that power grinding section. Then she was good, but then after that she died. So it was like,
Yeah,
what did she really
yeah.
do? And I mean, being a healer, I don't think like if you're a healer, I think that you really can't be below a B tier because you need heals. But
I
I don't
think
think she's quite A tier. I think she's like top of B tier.
I could see her top. Yeah, honestly, I think that's very fair. Top either bottom of A or top of B would be perfectly fair for this version of La Rachel.
And I think if had I
Honestly,
not killed her and she was able to use the warp staff, the hammer and staff, like silence, whatever, top of A, that could be
yeah, I
easy.
get that.
But then I think because I couldn't even use that, you know, I think
You know,
I think that's
sticker and B. I think that is very fair.
yeah,
Unfortunately,
very unfortunately. Same thing for the next character. It's very unfortunate.
like I think okay, another hot take here. This is going to be hard to say. I think Myrrh had a little bit of user error.
Oh, we're talking Myrrh now. Is that
Yeah, is that not Myrrh?
that's loot?
Oh
Sorry, yeah,
shit!
no,
Sorry,
you're
I thought
good,
it
you're
was
good,
Myrrh.
you're good. No, it's
Oh,
yeah,
never. I see Myrrh later down.
yeah.
No, loot. Listen, your loot was really good,
She was very good.
but she had to be sacrificed. Honestly,
But see, do we
when did you
knock her?
sacrifice her?
We sacrificed her in chapter 19, so we had her from chapter 4 to 19. Also, because of Gilliam's craziness and also maybe my poor play is kind of how she bit it. So like I don't think that should affect her ranking
I
because of things out of her control.
I think you can put her in the bottom of A.
Oh, the bottom of A.
I think you can put her mid bottom of A.
See, yeah, no, that. See, I feel like that's yeah, no. I was thinking like top. I was thinking low S, only for the reason like.
Really?
So initially, I'm thinking like, okay, she did, you know, we used her a lot, and I mean, she was able to clean up enemies as needed. But no, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, she didn't have like a ton of standout moments. She just kind of
Yeah.
like was there a lot.
She was a reliable unit,
But
you
like,
know?
yeah, no, she wasn't a unit where I was like, I need her. Where she like, I need to clean things up. It was just, oh yeah, here's loot. Yeah, no,
Loot, she was like I said, that's why I put her mid A
yeah.
because she had like she was reliable. She was very reliable.
There we go.
But in my opinion, I do not think she
Yeah,
was like S standing out. Like you need me on this team or else you will not beat this chapter.
yeah. I do think though she's probably a little bit better than Ephraim, only for the reason that her she was around for so much longer.
Oh, I would agree. I I almost didn't use loot for my run through like when I promoted her. But she's got 24 magic.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine. I think by the time that she died, and she was only like a level like 4 or 5 unit. I mean, I think she had like 22 or 23 magic. I mean, she was
Yeah.
insane.
Mine also
So
had 27 luck and 19 res and 11 defense. 11 defense.
good lord, that's got to be a
Yeah.
plus. Like what?
Let's check.
That's got to be a huge boon for defense.
My loot was pretty darn good, if I'm being honest. I
Now,
can't, and like she did come with me to the very, very end, so I would have put for me also. I would have put her in the exact same
yeah.
like category as yours.
But I think for both of us, we used her almost about the same amount of time. You used her a little bit longer because mine, I had to sacrifice her. But I think,
You
yeah,
had to back her.
and I think maybe
Plus
if she made it to
two.
the end, she might have been at an S rank because like I would
Mhm.
have used the Excalibur tome to like maybe
Yeah.
attack the Demon King, right? So maybe that could have been that little final push in top of A, low of S. But I think I think you're right though. Like she didn't have a ton of standout moments.
Hmm. My loot was plus 2 HP, average strength, +1 skill, +3 speed,
Holy wow, good lord.
+9 luck,
Jeez. 9 luck.
+2 defense,
Oh my god.
and +2 res.
There was not one stat that she was minus in. And she had an
No.
incredible plus luck stat. Plus
How did
9
she get
luck.
that much luck? What the heck?
I mean, what's her luck growth rate? When you have like you look at the numbers and it goes up by a point,
It
whatever, or what
it
the
goes up
percentage
by
is.
half a point every single time.
Okay, so she has a 50% luck growth. So you basically got heads versus tails 9 extra times.
Good
Like
knit.
you
Yeah,
basically
like
won 9 extra coin tosses.
she has if as a level
Excuse me.
8 mage knight has +3 luck. +2 luck for a level 20 mage knight.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she would probably
That's incredible.
cap luck. Yeah, that's ridiculous. She'd probably end
She
at
does this in her growth stat. She doesn't cap luck.
oh yeah, so yeah, she's definitely plus whatever then her cap
Yeah,
is.
she
So
like if I got her to level 20, like an average level 20 wouldn't have as much luck as my level 8, which is crazy.
yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
that's why she was so good.
it may be probably. I mean, 27 luck is insane. So, all right. Well, we got Marissa now. Marissa was again thinking about her. I think my initial first thoughts is she was similar to like Cormag, where
Hmm.
she was able to kill some units here and there, and she was able to do okay. But I think just being able having to wait so long for promotion because Noel died, I think also sort of affected her. But I felt like she wasn't as of a detriment as like maybe how like you and Amelia. I think she was a
Hmm.
bit better than that. I don't know. I'm thinking high B, maybe.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I might put her in a nice high B. I would agree with that. I think that's a fair
Right?
stat.
I think that's fair. I mean, overall, she was able to kill a few units, do a few things, but
Mhm.
why can I not move her?
Yeah, this is fair. This is fair.
There we go. Yeah, not much to say really about her. I mean, she wasn't bad by any means, but definitely not like stand out. Yeah.
You want to talk about a standout character?
Oh yeah.
You look no further than the single greatest Fire Emblem character of Sacred Stones,
Hmm.
the 8th game in the franchise, the mustache to rue them all, Mulder, 1993 Dad Sneakers, the Boulder.
The Boulder. Yeah. He was he was really I mean, I'm trying to think. He was good early game. I mean, we basically used him almost the entire time until we got La Rochelle or
Hmm.
La Rachel, excuse me. But Mr. the Boulder was phenomenal. Again, being a healer and being able to like make sure everyone's good, you're at least guaranteed B tier. I feel like.
Hmm. Yeah.
But
Which, by the way, I want you to know,
mm,
my Mulder the Boulder,
dude,
level 10 Sage.
and I even when I did a practice session of this, I even mentioned I was like, Jason needs to bring up his stats for his Molder because my God, his Molder is insane. Like yours ended up being so good. Like I've never made him a sage. I think I've made him a sage once, but I usually do bishop.
+1 strength, average skill, +1 speed. He had 1 luck, -5 luck.
I love the
Plus-
fact that he had 1 luck. It's so funny.
But +4 defense, +3 res.
But see, this is why we call him a boulder. I mean, that
truly
+4
is
that +4
the
defense.
boulder.
Yeah.
And he had 1 luck. That's all he needed.
And
1
I,
luck.
yeah, that's all he needed. I mean, he had the stash and he had he had his 90s outfit on. Like he don't need any more than 1 luck. That's his.
He, for me, in my game, was an A tier character. He didn't really do anything super de stand out until the very, very, very end when a bunch of my units got put to sleep and I used the Latona staff to get them all back up.
Yeah. So
He
a
had one
nice
standout
nice
moment
clutch
was
moment.
super consistent A tier for me. But for you, I think it's fair to put him in B, probably.
Yeah, and I mean, I do wonder. I think it's sort of interchangeable with La Rochelle and Mulder because we technically used them both about the same amount of time. And I think had La Rochelle been able to use the warp staff, hammer and whatever, I think maybe would be above Mulder. But I feel comfortable putting him in around this spot.
I would agree. Yeah, this is fair.
Yeah, I feel like it's fair. So now you were saying with
No,
Myrrh was user error.
There was
throwing
one
some
moment
shade.
in chapter 19, no, before that, chapter 17, where we accidentally took off the user error. We took off the like her dragon stone.
Yep.
And she just got rickety wrecked.
She did get rickety wrecked.
And I would like to take that moment out of contention, like out of away from this. You used her quite a bit, and she did save your bacon a few times.
She did. Right? Like chapter 16, very vital. She helped me with the reinforcements on the south. She helped me clear out the boss room up north. Now, the question is, how much do we weight that? Because again, really, she only worked very well in 1 chapter. I mean, in 17, she cleared out a couple of units in the bottom and then was going to hold the line. With the mages, but again, my user error. So I feel like 17 is sort of she did a little bit, but not a ton.
I personally, she had some standout moments. She was a solid character. Did you bring her in the final chapter?
No. I mean, again, like, she would have been in the final. And I think that's why I'm tempted to throw her in the Gilliam tier and Colm tier, just because I don't think just doing 1 chapter is I don't think that's worthy of a B tier. But also that's for sure user error. Now,
she had some good moments, but I think I'd have to agree with you that C tier, she wasn't detrimental, but you can't have 1 good chapter and make the top 3 tiers.
That's my opinion. I think you have to have a consistent set of chapters, and I think if she had made it to 19 or even 20 and then died, right? Yeah. She would have easily been B, if not low A, because of her getting us through a good chunk of those chapters. But yeah, no, I think I'm leaning toward yeah.
Yeah, I behind Gilliam. I yeah, that's good for me.
Yeah, I think that's where I would put her. And then we'll just go through. Honestly, we'll go through these next 3 really quick. Natasha didn't use, but She gave immense staff, so kind of nice. Put her probably like
Yeah,
behind Ford.
yeah, I agree.
Namie, I didn't use, and also sacked her to continue on the run. I'd probably put her again just behind Kyle. She didn't have any items or anything of use.
Yeah.
Orson, you only use him for one chapter, and again, he does have a silver lance, so in the same vein as like Kyle as Ford, I think we can put him next to him just because he did give us a nice item. But other than
Mhm.
that, I think we can.
I support this.
Yeah,
I support this.
I was gonna say if you think we should move him around, let me know. But I think like with those characters, I think that's kind
No,
of
especially taking into consideration the items and stuff, like you said, I would actually put them in the exact same order.
nice, cool. Um, Rennick. I mean, we can. I mean, he might be he might be worth
My
talking a little
Rennick,
bit,
my
but
Rennick was really useful. He got me out of a couple of binds, but at the same time he was a little detrimental from in my run,
mhm.
where like I couldn't just kind of leave him on his own, but he did dodge when I needed him to dodge. For you, I think he's kind of like he's in front of Colm behind Mur.
Yeah,
He's
and I kind of was thinking
he's the
that
rogue.
too. Like
Like fine.
definitely better than Calm, and the fact that with the lock picking, like he doesn't need a lock pick. He just has that ability tied to his
He opens
class, and he comes
doors
with
real
that.
good.
He
Like
he
what
he.
there's nothing more you can really say about him. He opens doors real good.
Yeah, he opens doors and chests very good. He can steal items, from enemies, and
I took
then
him with me.
yeah,
I burned a space in my final chapter just so I could get both the Master Seal and the Angelic Robe for no reason.
there you go. Wow, he made it to the end.
He did, but he was there for one purpose.
Yeah, he is a chest and door guy. Um,
All right, we're gonna
all
talk
right,
about
I was
Ross.
gonna say, just take a moment, stretch, crack your finger, whatever, and just like, all right, it's time to get into it with
My
this one.
Ross was really good for me. He was an S tier character for me, especially in chapter 19. Like this is my run, not Adam's run. Obviously, unfortunately for Adam, he basically didn't get to use him.
Yeah, yeah.
So like honestly, I'd put him on. I don't know if I'd put him in D, but maybe the back of C. No, he needs to go in D.
No,
I
I think he really needs to go in D because I mean I barely used him in the chapter he came in, and then he died really early on in the next chapter. So I
Mine
for
got to
me,
level 12 Berserker.
and yeah, I
And
wish I wish.
I gave him one angelic robe, so I'm going to take his HP and -7. You know where that would put him?
I don't know what 53 health. I'm guessing.
Plus 11 HP. Never mind. That's the wrong one. That would put him at. Actually, no, I didn't use an angelic robe on him. I used it on somebody else. That would put him exactly where he's supposed to be. He had +3 skill.
Oh
He
wow,
had average speed, average -2 luck, +1 defense, and +1 res.
I'd say that's a pretty good Ross.
He was he was a very solid iteration. For me, he was an S tier. He stood out. I used him to plug the hole. If I had an issue, just put Ross in there. He was also a crit machine,
Yeah, yeah,
like an absolute crit maniac. He had 81 crit. So,
that's
well,
ridiculous.
yeah, yeah, it was crazy.
Well, and the nice thing with units like Ross, right? Like berserkers are basically axe. They're axe versions of sword masters. I think
Yeah, it was
I think
awesome.
they get. I don't think they get 30 crit, but they definitely get like 20. They might get 20 crit
Yeah,
for their base class. So like they're really good.
with a killer axe, he had 81 crit. Like he
Yeah.
just was a crit factory.
Yeah, he was a
Oh,
crit
and with
machine.
Garm, with Garm, the axe, he was doing 62 times 2 damage. He was doing 124 damage.
which is mind-boggling.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Broken.
Busted.
So yeah, unfortunately, he was very good.
Unfortunately for me, I just was just not paying attention, and I killed him. He for sure for me. If I like looking at all these characters, and
He could have been an S tier.
he
He
could
could
have
have been.
he could have easily been an S tier, but I think in my run through, he may have ended up high A if I had to guess. Like that, just given like I probably would have promoted him a little earlier. I probably wouldn't have invested as much because I had to invest in like other units, but he definitely would have been very good.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah. Soleil, I think, is another one that I basically.
You basically didn't use him.
I don't think I used him at all. I really don't think I brought him. Like, I recruited him,
Back
took his
line
items, and that was it. He recruits Ewan, so I mean, I will say I think he recruits Ewan.
I mean, that's nice. And Ewan's a B tier character for you, so you can maybe put him in front of like Namie or something.
Yeah.
Like,
But I would say, yeah, and I think he had a couple magic tomes that I would outweigh the mend stuff. So I think he had like a mend and an Elfire and a thunder
oh,
tome.
nice. Yeah, sure.
So I'd say, like, given all that, I think I'd put him here. And then let's finish out, like, so I mean, obviously there's two that I'm going to talk more about, but the other three here. So like Vanessa. Vanessa, I hardly used. I very similarly to how like Garcia died, but the fact that I used her even less, she didn't really contribute a ton. I mean, I would put her probably where like Ross is, maybe. Like, she just kind of didn't do anything.
My Vanessa
But
was
yours was really good.
Yep, she had average health, but she had +2 strength, -1 skill, +1 speed, +3 luck.
Oh, wow.
What else? What else? What else? She had +1 defense and average res. And I also gave her an angelic robe, so she was just a tank for me.
Yeah. And usually that's how Vanessa's, like, when I use them, they end up being probably about A tier. Sometimes they'll be in the final. But sometimes I also like Tana, which, I mean, we haven't talked about yet. But so it all kind of depends on if Vanessa had gotten some good level ups, then I might make a switch. But or may or may not make a switch. But yeah, in this run, she was just not that good.
I think you ought to just take Serene and throw her also in D because you didn't ever really use her.
See, I might even argue that she could share the null tier because she kind of just got recruited and then died.
The reason I wouldn't put her there is because she didn't have the single most useful item in the game.
She did, yeah. I was gonna say, so yeah. I guess we could just put her the bottom of D tier and just.
Yeah, like personally, that's what I would. You can. This is your list, so
No. But I do think that you have a point. She didn't die with anything crazy or that like, oh no, worthy.
Yeah.
So.
And the same thing with your dancer. Like, honestly, Tethys. Like Tethys, people really like her. But you didn't really get the option to use her very often, so she's unfortunately got to go somewhere in D.
She's got to go somewhere in D, but I would say she's above Dazla. And actually, I'm going to put Vanessa, like, I'm actually going to move Vanessa because, like,
You didn't get to use her, yeah.
I didn't really get to use her, and I mean, I'm even thinking Ross, too, actually. Might go further down because I hardly used him. At least these 5 up here, like in D tier, gave me some good items. Tethys I would actually put above Dozla only for the fact that I think she comes with a white gem which is worth $10,000 or 10,000 gold. And I think outweighs literally the value of all of the items that these other characters come with. So the fact that I didn't use her, I think it's a white gem and an elixir. So It's like 13 grand of item.
That's good. That's good. I would agree. I agree with this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about this in reverse order for who I think. I have a take that you might agree with, might disagree with as your number one character. So I'm going to start with who I think is second. I think these between Seth and Tana are both S tier units.
I think we can both agree, given where they are, or like where they ended up. They finished the run. They had very clutch moments, good level ups, like very much a I need to rely on you guys sort of unit. So
I think now this might be a hot take. I think Tana goes second in the S tier. She saved your bacon so many times. She hung on by a thread and almost died like 6 separate times, but she held on in not a detrimental way, but like she was super useful. She got that spear attack, like that piercing attack
the pierce
ability at the
ability
very,
proc.
very
Yeah.
end in the 11th hour,
Yep.
and which was super duper clutch, and why she's an S tier. But the reason Seth, I think, is you for this run number one player from the very beginning, chapter 1, all the way through. Seth was captain consistency, never let you down. He almost died that one time, but then he didn't. All the way through, I think Seth is your number one.
Yeah, and I think thinking about it, right, like Tana had several moments of oh shoot, like she's almost dead, like crap, and not because like she's weak by any means, but I just had some poor play. I
Yeah.
had some poor play like moments. But with Seth, and I guess you're right, like Seth really only had like one moment, I think, where he kind of like, oh no, but like, yeah, captain
I mean,
consistency, I think says it
captain
the
consistency,
best is
full
like,
reliable.
yeah,
We could count on Seth. Oh man, this thing's happening. Just throw Seth up there. Like
yeah,
he made every scenario he was in against magic users, against axe users, against sword,
yeah.
anybody.
I mean,
My money was still on him, even if the triangle, like the weapons triangle, was against him.
yeah, I mean, he had a really clutch moment in the Fog of War chapter. He was able to basically quick clear that for me. I was able to basically send him off on his own in certain scenarios multiple times, and yeah, it was one of those characters where you just didn't have to worry about him. You gave him a healing item just in case, and if sometimes he would get a hit or two, like he'd take a hit or two, but
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't dodging everything. But yeah, he was very very reliable. I think you're right. And the only reason why I think Tana might go above Seth was for that clutch moment, but it's like how much do we weigh that end game moment?
It was a super clutch moment. Like, there's no doubt about it.
But
And why
yeah,
he is second in the S tier. But if we're going to look through 21 separate chapters,
yeah, I think you're right.
it has to be Seth. It
And
has to be
and
Seth.
and also Tana does join at chapter 9. We had Seth from chapters 1 to
Chapter 1.
prologue to 8 and all the way through. So
Honestly, I know we had some mentions where we're going to move some characters around. I think this actually looks, now that we have our SA through Noel, I think this looks really good.
yeah, I'm still okay with Cormac being A because I think he was slightly better than Marissa.
Yeah, I agree. I
And
think
and
Inez
yeah,
staying in A and not S is accurate now, seeing the whole list.
yeah, seeing the whole list, and again, Gilliam where he is, like whenever you do a tier list, you can kind of see the ends and the beginnings of each tier, and when you think
Yeah.
about it, you're like, okay, yeah, I know that makes sense. And I know C tier might be a little lacking, but I do think that's fair that there's 4 in there, and that B would be the average. There'd be more in that one.
No, this is a good list in my opinion. I think this is a really solid representation of the run. Not necessarily like we want, like there are characters who have much more potential who could shoot up and be into S tier,
Oh yeah,
who
yeah.
might even be more worth it than Seth, if they were in this run. But this is this run, which for this specific run, I have to agree.
Yeah. I think everyone who we used who performed how they performed, given how long or short we had them, I think, yeah, this definitely is a very accurate representation of the playthrough that we experienced. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what more there is to say about it, but other than I had a lot of fun doing this. So,
Honestly, well done.
yeah,
I think you did a great run. It was very entertaining, and I can't wait until we do the next game.
yeah. I guess maybe take a minute or two and try to figure out what that next game is because I'm not too sure.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not worried about it.
But I know the next stream will be on Sunday,
Yes, sir.
hopefully. But yeah, no, this was good. Yeah, I'm glad that you were here to help me out with the tier list.
Absolutely.
Give me
I'm
some
glad I was able to come in.
give me some other takes and other moments of like thought, like, oh yeah, like I didn't really, like I didn't think about, when we were talking about Gilliam or even Garcia or, you know loot. Like you made some very very valid points. So it was nice to have another opinion bounce off this.
I'm just happy to be here. Per the usual, just happy to be here.
Oh yeah. Well, I
All right.
think that's gonna be it for the stream tonight. But yeah, no, thank you for whoever hopped in, watched, whatever, hearing us talk about these characters, and yeah, we'll see you next
Lovely,
time.
lovely characters, except for Noel.
Yeah, except for Noel, he's in his own tier for a reason.
All right, we'll catch you next time.
Yeah. All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.